What is up, guys? I am Michael Buckheischer with Just for Clicks, live, raw, and uncut sports talk. Here with my co-host, Mike LeBlanc. Mike, I see you're wearing your Cowboys jerseys. Is it because the Kansas City Chiefs originated from Texas?
Yeah. And I had to support Zeke, the number one running back in the league.
Yeah, that's a false statement. Zeke is not even a top 5 running back in the league.
You, sir, are smoking crack.
I am not, but I am drinking a Raz energy drink tonight. I couldn't be much more excited. So, guys, if you are interested in drinking some Raz energy drinks, go to reepenergy.com, type in promo code J4C and save 20% off of Raz energy drinks. It helps us as well. So, shameless plug there. But if you guys are new here, consider liking the Facebook page, subscribing us on YouTube as well. Share this with a couple friends. Comment, guys. We read all the comments. They pop into our chat here. Me and Mike both see them, and we can pop them up anytime we want to if we want to interact. We're going to interact with you. But Mike, before we get too carried, go ahead.
Before we start, what's up with your can? It's all grainy.
It's all grainy.
You're like digital.
Yeah, it's I'm working on this green screen thing over here, and it's just not quite iron out yet. So I'm gonna have to get a new camera in the end, I think. Or I can just fly my Chiefs flag all the time, but I don't want to make you feel bad. So, but it is what it is. So
the Chiefs still don't have as many. Chiefs doesn't have as many Super Bowls as the Cowboys, but we'll let you have that one.
That is fine. What is up, Dylan Moran from On and Off the Field? They just got done with a live show over there, guys. Dylan was on with us. What was it? Monday or Tuesday? He was on with us. I can't remember what day it was, but he's a Seahawks fan, and quite frankly, his picks were out of the water. So whatever, forget Dylan. But I got a story to tell you, Mike. Me and my wife were both college athletes, right? I played football. She was a basketball / volleyball player at the college level. However, you know how a man's supposed to be like the dominant figure in the house, like the best athlete, like the best driver, just all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we already know your wife is the best athlete in college.
Dude, she whooped my ass. We tried to play horse. She didn't have a letter. Oh, I mean, okay, I'm a football player. I get it. Okay, we went and played catch with the baseball. I was throwing as hard as I could. She's like, is that all you got, boy? And then, I'm like, okay, let's play something that's not athletic. It's mind skill, right? We played cards. She beat me at cards. I'm like, oh, shoot. Let me think of another game to play. So we played the war, like the card game war. No freaking strategies, all pure luck. Dude, she beat me like 3 turns of a deck. I was like, Jesus.
So you're saying your wife is better at everything than you?
I am saying that right now. My wife decided to make me feel like a little B word in front of our sons, and I was not very appreciative of it.
She emasculated you in front of your kids.
Yeah, so I'm actually wearing a dress right now, right here below my desk. But
as you should.
But guys, if you have been living under a rock, the Rams revealed their new uniforms today, and I thought they were pretty good looking uniforms here, guys. If you are watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Let me see if I can find there's the picture of them. I mean, that they're all, like they have solid blue, solid white, and then the blue and gold as well. The only thing I don't like is the logo. It looks like two bananas on there trying to make love or something. But Mike, what are your thoughts on this Rams new uniform?
I like the new uniform. It kind of goes with the times, and I think their uniforms needed to be updated. I like them actually. I think I might even buy a jersey just because I like it.
The all blue, I believe it's called a Ram blue is what they're calling it, like actually. But those are going with all those color rush jerseys, like the Buffalo Bills had, like they're all red, the Jets are all green, so
Cowboys color rush jersey. Thank you.
Yeah, the Cowboys always wear white, so whatever. Like the only thing I really don't like about these uniforms, look at those white look at those white pants. Like, what is this yellow piss stain running down the side? They should have just went
I mean,
probably.
it kind of goes with what's on the helmet. I like it.
Uh, I
I
think it's
really dig the all blue jersey though. I
yeah
really like that
the only
jersey.
thing I don't like about the all blue jersey is the faded numbers from the yellow on the top and white
Nah,
to the bottom.
no,
That
I'm
we
kind of feeling that.
I mean, that kind of reminds me exactly what like Atlanta Falcons did, like a little bit here, like in their jerseys, like with the red on top, black to the bottom. Uh, so there have been what 5 or 6 teams come out with like new jerseys here with the Browns, Patriots, Chargers, Rams. Uh, who else am I like Atlanta, and want to say there was one
I
other, but I
really
can't
don't
remember.
like Atlanta's new jerseys.
Yeah, so
It looks XFL ish,
right.
or I don't
Not
like it.
even this year's XFL. We're talking like the
Yeah,
2003
yeah,
like XFL.
yeah.
Um,
Like when they would body slam people on the field and
yeah,
stuff.
allegedly, right? But
Yeah,
like I on the I mean jerseys period. When you go all white, for some reason I dig the all white look, like the white tops, white bottoms. I really dig that look. One of the
so
worst uniform.
you dig the Cowboys look? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, meaning like I do. I don't like it when they wear their silver pants though. I don't. I'm not a big fan of that. The one thing, the jerseys that were absolutely the worst were the Cleveland Browns. We talked about this pre-show, and if you guys are not following us
Did.
on YouTube, you missed out. But me and Mike always have a little pre-show banter and prep for the show. But these Cleveland Brown uniforms look like Oklahoma State uniforms, 100%.
Yeah, yeah, I think they do too. I think they could have done a way better job. Um, like you're the Cleveland Browns, you're an NFL team. I'm sure you could have gotten somebody to design your uniforms a little better.
I mean, for looking at the comments here, Dylan from on off the field, I was watching their show tonight, and he loves those Chargers uniforms. I'm
Yeah,
not really digging the Chargers uniforms too much. I'm not a big fan of the gold pants. But like I said, I do like the powder blue with the white bottoms, and then the and that all navy blue they got happening. I do like those two, but the other four combination that they have, I'm not a real big fan of those. What are your thoughts on that?
I really I like all of their uniforms. I'm really digging that all blue, the Ram blue. I really like that jersey, and I like the color scheme.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
yeah. The more I think about it, like I do like the royal blue that they have happening there, but out of those 5 or 6 teams that have come out with new jerseys in the 2020 season, who are your favorite?
It would have to be the Rams. I really like I like the way they did their jerseys.
Yeah, I do like the Rams as well. Many people
The
are saying this is
Patriots,
the worst.
yeah, no way.
Yeah.
The Patriots redid their jerseys and
Oh yeah.
they look just kind of generic.
Yeah. Basically, it looks like all they did is kind of like make it like a 3D type model, more or less, and add some stuff.
Yeah.
But the like I still like the basic, the basic blue pants with the white tops. I mean, those still look good no matter where you are. But let's go ahead and move on away from these jersey talks here, and let's talk. COVID-19 still running the world and whatnot, and how the NFL is going to react with the 2020 season. The Packers have come out and said they have $385 million in reserve to fund the season, so they don't need fans at their stadium to pay the salaries of their players and like whatnot. We've heard other teams. I'm not going to name drop anybody here by any means because well, yeah. The Jets said they can't afford to support the season. The Detroit Lions have come out and said it, and I believe the Arizona Cardinals have said it like as well. Do you think these teams are bluffing, or has just Packers have been smart with their money?
No, I kind of think they're bluffing. I mean, you're an NFL franchise, right?
Right.
You have to have some surplus money. It's not like everything that you use for the season just goes to everything, and then you're sitting at $1 million or $2 million at the end of the season. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I guarantee they all have money in surplus. I know my Cowboys definitely do. So
If you do not have funding to, like Like I used to run an indoor football team for 3 years here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I had a mentor that said, if you are relying on ticket sales to fund your season, you are not doing something correct. You are not getting you're not getting the proper sponsorships out there. You are not, the ticket sales is where you make your money. The ticket sales is not how you break even or
No, yeah,
pay the bills.
your ticket sales are profit, right? You're not using the ticket sales for anything. That's profit. That's money going into your pocket. Speaking of sponsorships, every team in the league has so many sponsorships.
Bud Light,
Um,
Pepsi, you
yeah,
know,
all
Papa
that.
John's, or I guess it's
So
Pizza Hut now, but whatever.
all of them, I think they're bluffing and they're just like, hey, we want some money.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's the more of the fact that, hey, we are, like, I mean, like, I'm going to say the team doesn't need the ticket sales or the fans to come to the games. Usually it's the cities that, because it's the businesses around the stadium. If you have ever been to the Detroit Lions stadium, it's in the middle of downtown Detroit. Like, we walked through countless buildings and businesses to get to the stadium from where we parked at. And I mean, just all those bars were packed on the way there. So I think it's a ploy to get, the fans to come to the game still, like, obviously, but they have to think about the economy around the stadiums, those bars, those hotels that are losing millions upon millions of dollars by fans not coming to the games. Because I know when we went to the Detroit game last season, we spent $500 between parking and food and alcohol and hotel room. It was a grand time, but still, I mean, that was $500. So think about that
Yeah,
times 20, 30,000, or how many people are fit in the Detroit Lions stadium, just to name drop there. So, I mean, you're looking at $1 million per game easily at that one establishment. So, nonetheless, I think it's all kind of a bluff. But the Green Bay Packers are doing something right. They do have $385 million in reserve to fund the season, as they come out and said. So, guys, we are going to take a quick break here. Join us after the break as we break down the 2020 Kansas City Chiefs NFL season. Are they going to go 16-0? Find out right
yeah, go
after.
0-16.
Yeah, right. They play the Oakland Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos. There's 6 wins. But we'll be right back, guys.
Let's grow up. I say it in a sense like grow the weeds. We on the green, no coca leaves. You know I brought my folks with me. So folks with me. I mean fucks with me. Smoke, chill, comfortably. In luxury. Drinking and we smoking and we coasting on the ocean. Bumping Frank CD in motion. We just rolling, chilling, popping, pilling.
And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. I am Michael Buckeister, the host of the show, joined with my man Mike LeBlanc. Mike, it is that time of night. It's time to break down the 2020 Kansas City Chiefs NFL record. They are Super Bowl champs. Patrick Mahomes was MVP back in 2018. So, Mike, let's go ahead and get to it here. Let me pull up their schedule here. For some reason, my computer screen decided to freeze on me, which is always a grand old time here at the old RTF production studio. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. Like us on Facebook, share us with a couple friends. So, week 1, Mike, 9-10, opening day, Thursday night game versus the Houston Texans at home. Who do you got?
I got the Chiefs with this one. It's just I think the Houston Texans are just gonna have a really, really rough season. Losing Hopkins in that offense is really, really tough. Look, he's putting up his little highlights for his Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think the Chiefs win this game, and I think they win it soundly. That defense, maybe the Chiefs' defense is just they're gonna be all over the Texans.
Yeah, I agree with you, but except for the fact that you said their defense is going to be all over the Texans. We've seen it year in and year out where the Kansas City Chiefs defense doesn't really show up to about week 10, week 11 in the NFL season. And, even with the addition of Taco Carlton here in the last week, you still have that same defense in the end. Yes, they're going to be much improved in like another year underneath Steve Spagnuolo, but this is going to be a shootout. This is going to be the Rams Kansas City game that we saw 2018, I think it was, 54, 56 tie up a score. As I'm giving the Chiefs to win because they're at home in the end.
No, there's no way this game is a shootout. No way this game is a shootout.
Are you saying the Texans defense can hold the Kansas City Chiefs?
No, I think the Chiefs are going to put up score. I think the Chiefs are going to put up, 28.
They're going to put 28 up in the second quarter alone.
28, 35 points in the game. I don't think the Texans will be able to put up those points.
They still have Deshaun Watson, though. You have to think about that.
That's great. That's great, but he's one man. Who's he going to throw to? He's going to throw to Cobb? Come on, man. We both know Randall Cobb is on the downturn of his career.
He is, but you still have Stills. You still have Stills on there.
You have Stills. That's great, and you have Fuller, right? But those are not Hops. That's not Hopkins, man. How many times has Watson thrown up that 50-50 ball to Watson, and Watson went and got it?
50 times.
He needed him to. You know what I mean? Like, you take that element away from the Houston Texans, and then now you got a mediocre offense.
Yeah, I still don't think they're going to be mediocre, but I still think the Chiefs win. Opening day at Arrowhead is going to be off the chain. Next week, they travel to L.A. to take on the Chargers, 4:25 kickoff. Who do you got?
I got the Chiefs winning this game.
Me too. You want to know why? The Kansas City Chiefs are 23-3 in divisional opponents since Andy Reid has taken over the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't lose in that division. They've also won it like 4 times in a row as well. Chiefs are going to hammer the Chargers bad because they don't have a quarterback. Okay, they got Tyrod Taylor. Cool. Yeah. I want to see Herbert start for the Chargers. Like, honestly, I think Herbert gives them the best chance to win this season.
We'll see.
We'll go ahead and move on. Go ahead.
I don't think Abear is that guy yet. Abear has quite a bit to grow before he's that guy.
Well, let me throw your logic here at you. The Chargers took him pretty high up. What, third round was it? Fourth, right? I still think when you draft a quarterback above the fifth round, and he's the third or fourth quarterback off the board, he has to be projected to like start.
No, not in the third or fourth round. You take a quarterback in the third or fourth round to develop them.
Who is going to develop them? Tyrod?
No, I mean, the coach is going to develop those guys, but he's going to have a tough go at it because he doesn't have a veteran to sit and learn under. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is technically a veteran, but that's not somebody you want to learn from.
Yeah, you can be 15 years at your job, but if you're still a janitor applying for an engineering job, your veteran status doesn't do there. But we'll go ahead and digress on that. Moving on to the next week, Monday night game, travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. We circled this back when the NFL season came out, saying this is going to be one of the best games possibly of the season. Who do you got?
I got the Ravens. The Chiefs Chief is playing at the Ravens. That defense is going to give Patty Holmes some trouble. I think it's a close game. I don't think it's a blowout or a shootout. But I think that Baltimore Ravens defense is going to be too much for Patty Mahomes.
You are 100% correct. The Ravens do win this game, giving the Kansas City Chiefs the first loss. But it's not because the Kansas City Chiefs got outplayed by any means. The Andy Reid has learned how to coach in the NFL. Yes, I know he's been there for 20 plus years or whatever it has been. But over the last 3 years, we have seen Andy Reid evolve into a great coach. He is starting to learn from Bill Belichick. Do you know what Bill Belichick does to teams that he possibly could see in the postseason when he plays them in the regular season? Gives them a vanilla defense, gives them a vanilla offense, doesn't want to give them any advantage going into the playoffs. That's what Andy Reid is going to do to the Baltimore Ravens. Give them the basic offense, the basic defense, and we're just going to go toe to toe at you. We're not going to do any fancy flea flicker 17-second routes combinations. That's not going to happen because we know we're going to play the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs at some point. Then we'll show you the house. So that's why the Ravens win this game.
So you think the Kansas City just goes up there with a basic offense because they don't want to show their hand?
Yeah.
No way.
Andy
No,
Reid is
dude.
learning. Do you watch the Patriots play?
I
Every
do, but
time,
I mean
every
the
time
Patriots
Bill,
win.
every time Bill Belichick faces somebody that has playoff potentials going into that season, he circles that game like, you know what? This is the package we're going to do. We're not going to change from it whatsoever. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. It's simple as that.
I don't know about that, man.
That is why Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time, but Andy Reid is quickly catching him because he's learning from him, watching do what he does. Speaking of the Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs are back at Arrowhead the following week to take on those Patriots. Who do you got?
I've got the Chiefs winning this game. I still don't think they have an answer at quarterback. Bill Belichick is still developing his quarterback, still kind of coming into his own. Yeah, I've got the Chiefs winning this game.
Yeah, this is almost a trap game for me because we circled this,
Yeah.
many people have circled this game as well, kind of like the passing of the torch from the AFC being dominated by the Patriots over the last 2 decades, and now the Chiefs are like kind of like the new dynasty type of thing. People have been referring to this as the bad boy Detroit Pistons passing the torch on to the Bills or to the Bulls. I mean. I don't think that is really the case. I think the torch has already been passed. I think Kansas City wins this game because the Patriots they haven't found the rhythm with the new offense yet. I mean,
Yep.
like whether you want to admit it or not, Tom Brady was a system quarterback, yes, but it takes time to learn that system. So give me the Chiefs in this one. We both have them starting 3-1 on the season, pretty much the same going forward here. Moving on to the next week, they're at home, taking on the new and improved Las Vegas Raiders. Who do you got?
Got the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't think the Raiders have it together just yet. I don't even think John Gruden knows if he wants Carr to start or not. And I think this is one of those games where it makes him scratch his head a little more. And I've got the Chiefs winning this game.
Yeah, John Gruden hasn't won Carr since he got the coaching job for the, at the time, Oakland Raiders and the LA Raiders and now the Las Vegas Raiders. So three cities in 3 years for John Gruden. That's pretty unique. But he does not like. Go ahead.
I think this is the game where he decides to go with Marcus Mariota.
I don't think Marcus Mariota is the answer either in Oakland.
I think he's better than Carr. He gives them a better chance.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean the Chiefs win this game. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to be a team that is either going to be really freaking good, like 13-3, or they're going to be 3-13. There is no mediocrity point for this Las Vegas Raiders team. Look what they did in the draft. They drafted Lynn Bolden as an athlete out of Kentucky. They didn't even know where he's going to play. He played quarterback his senior year of college. He played wide receiver. He's also played tailback. I mean, like, why do you draft an athlete in the second round? Like, that is asinine. It's total asinine for the Oakland Raiders. But yeah, give me the Kansas City Chiefs, giving them a 4-1 start to start the season. Giving me the next game, they travel to New York to take on the Buffalo Bills. This is a prime time game in Buffalo. Who do you got?
I got Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to shock the Chiefs at home.
Yeah, I'm going to have to concur with you on this. As much as I want to say my Chiefs are going to go 16-0, I'm a realist at the end of the day. I know that we could possibly play the Buffalo Bills and the playoffs. You know what I said earlier about the Ravens? Vanilla defense, vanilla offense coming at the Buffalo Bills. They're going to give them a little bit of confidence, and the Buffalo Bills are going to be riding high on this season because this is their season. You know, they're going to go 11-5, as my man Durf says, which is total horse crap. But they do beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a close one. It is going to be one of those grind them out games, like 21-20 type of score.
I was reading on NFL.com today that a dark horse, the number one pick for the dark horse of the league MVP this year, is Josh Allen.
Really? I could see that because this is, like honestly, this is the Buffalo's Bill division to lose. They went 10-6 last year, if I do believe
Mhm.
correctly. So I mean, really, they get one more win. Let's say they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, give them that 11-5 record. I mean, that is the division champs. They're looking pretty good. They're probably sitting third seed going to the AFC playoffs there. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I could definitely see that. The only way let's say Josh Allen does have an amazing season, MVP caliber season. The only way I see him not getting the MVP is if Tom Brady takes the Bucks to 11-5 and makes it into the playoffs. Then you had that storyline behind Tom Brady at the end.
I got Zeke winning the league MVP this year.
Zeke's going to get hurt fifth week. So moving on, the Chiefs are back on the road again, taking on the Denver Broncos. Who do you got?
On the road in Mile High Stadium, it's always hard playing there
Always.
because of, you're so high up and the air is thinner. But I do have the Kansas City Chiefs pulling this out. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think they win by a field goal, and it's going to be a late field goal to win the game.
So, Mike, we had pretty much mirrored our picks from this point on, and I'm pretty confident in those picks. This is the only pick that I'm not confident in. As a Chiefs fan, I'm clearly going to be rooting for my boys to win this game. But being a realist and thinking with my head and not my heart, this is one of the games that I think the Denver Broncos show up and play, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm picking the Broncos to
Wow.
beat the Kansas City Chiefs at Mile High. Just like you said, it is going to be a really close game, late field goal. I think this is kind of a Drew Lock coming out party. He just has one of those. He has one of those games, and we kind of see a glimpse of what's going to be happen in the year 2022 when Drew Lock and Patrick Mahomes have these great epic battles in the division twice a year. So I got to go with the Broncos simply because of the home field advantage, the altitude, and the fact that the Chiefs just played a late game on Sunday, then they're playing an early game the following week.
It
It is
it definitely could go either way. It
yeah.
definitely could go either way, but I think the Chiefs pull it out at the very end with a late field goal.
This is
I think,
one of those games of who has the ball last and what
yeah,
defense sucks less. Like at the end of the day.
I, I think Patty Mahomes gets the ball on his 25-yard line with like a minute and 30 seconds left, and Mahomes does what Mahomes does and drives him down the field, gets to the 30, 35-yard line, kick a field goal, and go home.
Yeah, I hope that's true at the end of the day. But the Chiefs do travel to home next week, back at Arrowhead, taking on the New York Football Jets. Who do you got? Reminder: the Jets do have
Mm,
Frank Gore now.
I know that's what I'm thinking. They've got Frank Gore and Le'Veon Bell. The Chiefs aren't that great against the run. I'm going to go with the Jets with this game. I think the 1-2 punch with Le'Veon Bell and Frank Gore is a little too much for the Chiefs, and it kind of opens up that passing game for them. And I think the Jets win this game, and I think they win 21-14.
I am going to have to agree with you. I think the 1-2 punch of Frank Gore and Le'Veon Bell is going to be a lot for the Chiefs to handle, but the passing game from the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be too much for the Jets to handle. The Jets are going to try to hang with them like the Titans did in the playoff game. Maybe jump out early, even 14-point game. But then the Chiefs offense comes on, they score 28 quick points, and then all of a sudden you're down 28-14, and the running game is no longer effective because you need to score quickly, and that's when the Chiefs start to pull it out, ultimately win by 35 points over the Jets at home. Next week, they're at home still, taking on the Carolina Panthers and Teddy Bridgewater. Who do you got?
Mm, that's going to be hard. Christian McCaffrey and like I said with the Jets, the Chiefs aren't that great at stopping the run, and I think Christian McCaffrey goes off during this game. And I still hold to my word. I don't think Christian McCaffrey is going to be what he was last season, but I think this is one of the games where kind of reminds you of what Christian McCaffrey was last season. And I think with Teddy Bridgewater and company, I think they take this game.
So you have the Kansas City Chiefs going 5-4 going into the bye week of Week 10, and
That Super Bowl slump, man.
I like everything that you said about Christian McCaffrey. Just like what I said earlier about the Patriots being a trap game for the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is a trap game. The Carolina Panthers they're going to be overlooked so much because of their record. They're going to be at this point maybe 2-3 wins tops, but they are going to be a solid team. So they still have good running game. Teddy Bridgewater can make a few things happen, and they're going into the bye week after this. With that reason, I got to go with the Carolina Panthers as well in this game. I circle it, and this is a game like, hey, we have to win this game, but it is just going to be one of those games where you can will all you want. It's just cards are just not going to fall right. Just like how I was playing War with my wife, and just cards would just not fall right. So we both have them going 5-4 going into the bye week. Coming off the bye week, they have a primetime game, 8:20 on NBC, traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders.
I got the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
I got the Chiefs. And as a matter of fact, I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. I'll keep rolling with you.
I agree. Andy Reid off a bye week, I believe he has never lost a game after the bye week. I could be mistaken, so if you guys are in the chat, let me know. But I believe all the years as a head coach with the Eagles and with the Chiefs, and I think even with the Packers when he was an offensive coordinator there, they never lost coming off of a bye week, and that holds true. Like at this point, the Raiders are probably 100% checked out. They don't know who their quarterback is. They might have Lynn Bolden at quarterback for all I know. Like at this point in time, this game gets early and often. Look for the Chiefs to score 56 points in this game. It's going to get ugly.
The Raiders will definitely be in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
Yeah. So there you go, Oakland Raider fan or Las Vegas Raiders fans. There you guys go. Trevor Lawrence to Las Vegas. There you go. Next up, the Chiefs are still on the road, traveling to Florida this time. 4:25 kickoff, taking on the Bucs and Tom Brady. Who do you got?
I have the Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes goes in there, and I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder because Tom Brady is still considered the greatest quarterback of all time, and not even that. I think people still give Tom Brady credit for being the best quarterback in the league right now. So I think, after winning the Super Bowl last year, and I think, who Patrick Mahomes didn't win the MVP last season.
Lamar Jackson did.
Lamar Jackson did. And, Lamar Jackson had a MVP caliber season. I'm not taking anything away from him. But what Patrick Mahomes did last season, getting hurt, coming back really strong the way he did, I had him as my league MVP last year. So I think he goes into Tampa Bay with a point to prove. And just like I am the man in the league. And I think that shows in the game, and they dog the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, let me just add to your point there. Patrick Mahomes missed 3 games last year due to a dislocated kneecap. Still threw for 4,500 yards. Take that into perspective. So for a 13-game season through 4,500 yards, Lamar Jackson did that in 16 games. Of course, he did rush for 1,000 yards as well, as you told me that earlier in the show. But the reason why I don't think Patrick Mahomes won the MVP last year was because his first year in the league he did throw for over 5,000 yards, and you look at like, oh, he only threw for 45, and the previous year he threw for 5,000. But you have to take into context of he missed 3 games.
Yeah, but as a voter, you got to kind of take that into consideration. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he missed 3 games because he was injured, but he still comes back and throws 500 yards less than what he did the previous season, missing 3 games. So if you put those 3 games back in there, he's easily over 5,000 yards for the season.
I think if Patrick Mahomes plays the full season, I think he's back-to-back MVPs. 100%. But let's go ahead and get back to this game here. Looking at the schedule moving ahead, the Kansas City Chiefs are 4 games. Their next four of their 5 games are on the road. They're on the road to Vegas, on the road to the Bucks, at Miami, and at New Orleans. The only home game versus the Broncos. They have a pretty tough stretch here of games. I'm going to circle this game here, the last game in November, as a must-win. The Kansas City Chiefs go into Tampa Bay and lay it on the Bucks as a must-win game. The defense shows up, shuts down Gronk and Brady and Mike Evans. And we're like thinking, wow, where is this defense at all season? If they keep playing like this, they're going to win another Super Bowl, and that is 100% correct. So the Chiefs are going to win this game at the Bucks. Moving in, we both have them at 7-4. Moving into the next home game, primetime game versus the Denver Broncos. Who do you got?
Chiefs. I think the Chiefs sweep the Broncos. You heard it here first.
And I like that, except for the fact that I had the Broncos beating the Chiefs earlier in the season. The Chiefs get revenge on this game, and I don't think the Chiefs lose another home game moving forward in this 2020 season. But next up, they're on the road taking the old mighty Dolphins, the Tua Dolphins. Who do you got?
I've got the Chiefs. That offense is just too much for the Dolphins defense. Way too much. I think there's like 30, 40 points put up on the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Chiefs are hitting their stride at the right moment here. They're over that halfway point. They're after the bye week. The Chiefs may not lose another game till the Super Bowl. Actually, they may not even lose another game in the 2020 NFL season. I have them beating Miami, and I don't think Tua plays this game. I don't think Tua plays at all in the 2020 season.
Tua's going to start, but let's keep going.
Moving on to the next game here, they travel to the Big Easy to take on the Saints. I'm trying to get tickets to the Saints games as well. I'm taking my wife to the Packers to play the Saints earlier in week 3, so why not week 13 go there again to watch my Kansas City Chiefs play? But who do you got?
You're going to be mad. I've got the Saints winning this game at home in the Superdome. I have the Saints winning this game.
I like Drew Brees. I like Michael Thomas. I like Alvin Kamara. If the Chiefs were not playing the Saints this season, I would be rooting for the Saints. Saints to go 16-0 this season. But I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs losing to the Saints this year, giving them their 10th.
Tell you why.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. So we talked about the run game with McCaffrey. And we talked about it with Frank Gore and Le'Veon Bell. Kamara is going to be too much for the Chiefs to handle, and it is going to open up that passing game for Drew Brees and Cooks. Man, that is going to be a hell of a game to watch.
You are saying that as if we are talking about the first 4 weeks Chiefs defense, but we're talking the last 4 weeks Chiefs defense. Taco Carlton is going to be a great pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's going to be horrible the first 5-6 weeks. I'm not going to debate that whatsoever.
Taco wasn't great in Dallas. Why do you think we let him go?
Because the Chiefs, because the Cowboys don't know how to develop players. We've seen that with Cooper Rush. We've seen that with Taco Carlton. They want a pro-ready player. The reason why Taco Carlton isn't in Miami because they don't know how to develop players either. You have a coach like Steve Spagnuolo there. He is going to develop Taco Carlton. Chris Jones is going to take him under his wing. Like, look, boy, this is the way we do things. Either get on or get off. Taco Carlton's going to get on. They're going to shut down that running game, making the Saints one-dimensional. Michael Thomas might have a good game.
Yeah,
but
Michael Thomas. Yeah,
whatever. So, give me the Chiefs. Giving them 10-4 on the season right now. You got them 9-5. Moving into the final 2 weeks of the season, they're back at home, taking on the Falcons. Who do you got?
Chiefs.
I feel that's an easy one.
I mean, I don't expect big things from the Falcons this season. Again, We talk about it on every show, and you disagree, but I just because they only have Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, they're rebuild mode. They're rebuilding.
I could see that, but uh, I'm picking the Chiefs to win this game, like as well, because I don't like the Falcons this season at all, or since they lost the Super Bowl. Really, I don't like the Falcons. But the only thing I'm concerned about is that the Chiefs were on the road the 4 of their 5 previous games. That's the only thing I could think of. They're like, they traveled to Florida, or sorry, they traveled to Vegas, to Florida, back home, back to Florida, then to the Big Easy. That's probably 6,000 miles easy on a plane. And yes,
Yeah.
I know you're a professional athlete and you're on a plane and luxury, yada yada yada. But still, that wears on a person. But I'm taking the Falcons. Simple the fact is, more manpower at the end of the day. Giving us the final game of the season at home, taking on the Chargers. Who do you got?
I think they end the season on a high note and they beat the Chargers.
Making them 11-5 on the season.
Yep.
I like that pick, but I think the Chiefs are already in the driver's seat in this division, so they're going to take the day off. So the Chargers are going to hang with them for like a little while. We're going to see Josh Herbert come in and play this game as well. But the Chiefs win in the end, making them 12-4 on the season, a generous 12-4. So you had them 11-5, I had them 12-4, and I think we both have them picked as two Super Bowl champions, right? Like, way too early
Yeah.
Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I've
But
got them. I've got them. It's going to be tough. That AFC Championship game. It's going to be the Ravens and it's going to be the Chiefs. It's going to come down to that game, and I think it's going to be, one of those where whoever has the ball last wins. Um, but I do have the Chiefs going into the Super Bowl. I have the Chiefs and um, yeah, I don't know on the NFC. I think it's going to be Seattle. I've got Chiefs and Seattle in the Super Bowl, and between those two, it's hard to pick.
yeah, clearly the Chiefs are the favorite to go to the Super Bowl here. They haven't lost a whole lot on the team. They added some pieces on the defense, so clearly they're growing as a team. And so I gotta ask this question. I've seen this many times. Are the Kansas City Chiefs the new dynasty in the football world right now?
No, I think they go back to back. They go to the Super Bowl back to back. If they do, I mean, it's going to be a hell of a game, and it's going to be a hard game against the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think, when the Chiefs played the 49ers in that game, um, they had that young coach, and he
Kyle
got tired
Shanahan.
of running the ball.
Yep.
Shanahan got tired of running the ball and wanted to start throwing it. Well, you know what? Pete Carroll doesn't get tired of running the ball, except for that one time where he should have handed it to beast mode.
Right.
But Pete Carroll knows situational football, and you're going to have a hard time. It's not going to be a pushover like it was with the 49ers. The only reason why the Niners stayed in the game was that defense.
Yeah, man, that defense definitely carried them all through the whole season. Like, let's be totally honest, with their 13-3
Yeah.
or whatever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But like I said, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Always have been, always will be. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, we will never see another dynasty like the Patriots had. Just the world that we live in. Look at Dak Prescott asking for $200 million or whatever he is asking for. With the salary cap era, what it is at, you cannot pay your quarterbacks $150-160 million over their contract and expect to have good chemistry around that team. You are going to consistently see top receivers jump ship because they want to get paid. You're going to see linemen jump ship because they want to get paid. Every NFL team that you see moving forward, they're going to have a 3 to 4 year window to win back-to-back Super Bowls. That is it. After the 5-year window's over, after that rookie contract's up, after that first big deal is up, the dynasty is going to be over because they want to get paid. And when you put 35% of your salary cap in one player, you aren't going to be very good for very, very long. Look at the Atlanta Falcons. Look at the Detroit Lions.
Jameson says, no, they're not. They're not. They won't win back to back, in my opinion. I won't be surprised if neither team gets back. My only question to you, Jameson, is who's going to stop them? Besides the Baltimore Ravens and the AFC, who is going to stop the Chiefs?
The only team I can see stopping the Kansas City Chiefs in the end is like the honest answer is going to be themselves. If the defense doesn't show up, yes, you have to score to win the games. But when the other team is scoring just as easily as your offense is, you are kind of hitting yourself. But the only team I really see in the AFC, besides the Ravens stopping them, is possibly the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills have something to prove.
I don't think they're there yet. I don't think the Buffalo Bills are there yet. Next season, in the 2021 season, Buffalo Bills will, and that's why I say, I don't think the Chiefs will be that dynasty. But in the 2020 season, I think the Chiefs and the AFC side, the Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens are the most complete teams. We're like we talked about last night, we're not going to have the normal offseason. We're not going to have the OTAs and all that. So I think the Chiefs kind of pick up where they left off because they do have good chemistry, and the same with the Baltimore Ravens. They didn't lose a whole lot, and they just gained pieces. So I think it's going to come down to those two teams in the AFC.
The only thing that I see wrong with the Ravens is that they haven't shown me that they can win in January yet. Win a playoff game, win 2 playoff games, and then I will, possibly buy into the Baltimore Ravens. But right now, if I had to pick a team, it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. Or look at the Indianapolis Colts as well. They were missing a quarterback last year. They got their quarterback. They still have a solid running game. They have a solid defense. And
they could be the dark horse with Philip Rivers. They could be the dark horse. But, we're really going to see who was the problem in San Diego. Was it Philip Rivers or was it everybody else around him? Because if he goes to and we see the same shit that we saw in Los Angeles, and with the Chargers, then it's an obvious reason, and Philip Rivers needs to go ahead and hang up his cleats.
And he did sign a two-year deal there, but I think Philip Rivers is going to play with that same chip on the shoulder that Tom Brady is going to play on with him on the NFC side of things. Tom Brady. You said it here, Mike, that Tom Brady is a system quarterback. He wants to prove that he is not a system quarterback. Philip Rivers wants to prove that he was not the issue in San Diego at the time either. So wouldn't that be something if we had Philip Rivers and Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
That would be crazy.
And Philip Rivers got his first Super Bowl winning over the greatest quarterback of all time. That would be crazy. But guys,
Brady is not the greatest quarterback of all time.
The second greatest behind Joe Montana. I think Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yes.
So, with that being said, guys, that is going to be it for today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed the week so far. We broke down the Seahawks, we broke down the Saints, the Vikings. Who else did we break down? The Cowboys and the Saints. So, this is the 6th team. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. Join us on Sunday night show as we continue in the AFC. We jump over to the AFC South. And let's go ahead and break down those Indianapolis Colts and Philip Rivers. See what they got for the upcoming season. So, Mike, before we head out, any closing thoughts?
Jameson, the Bills and Ravens, possibly the Colts. There is no so on. There's nobody else.
You know what, Mike? Before we head out, let's go ahead and address that. Obviously, Jameson is saying the same exact thing I said. Congratulations. I said the Bills. Mike said the Ravens, and I said the Colts as well. Bring up a team that we didn't bring up if you want to chime in on the comments here, son. Yes, we know the Bills and Colts are going to be solid. They're not Super Bowl contenders. Let's be honest. Toe-to-toe, the Kansas City Chiefs beat both those teams by 15 points. The Ravens are the only team that could possibly slow down the Kansas City Chiefs, but Lamar Jackson cannot win in January. You want to know why? Because he is a running back. Lamar Jackson is a running back. You can throw for 4,500 yards all you want. Throw me 200 yards in January. How about that? Throw me 200 yards in January, Lamar Jackson. Then I'll tell you that you're not a running back. The 49ers are next to what? Jameson, let's go ahead and just keep calling you out here, son. The 49ers are next to what? Not make the playoffs after losing the Super Bowl? Is that what we're saying here?
I don't think they missed the Super Bowl. I mean, missed the playoffs. I think they sneak in as a wild card because that defense is still monstrous, right? That defense is
does win championships, just not division championships.
They are, they'll, but I think they're a first round loss in the playoffs as a wild card.
With Jimmy G at the helm, yes.
Yeah, you've got to get a better quarterback before you can start thinking about 49ers being the next dynasty.
Let me go ahead and say something about Jimmy G. I'd like Jimmy G on any other team besides San Francisco. I don't think Kyle Shanahan knows how to properly use Jimmy G. He has great arm strength. He can push the ball down the field. He is more than a game manager. He can win you games. I would love to see him in a Cowboys uniform, to be totally honest. I would love to see him in a Cowboys uniform. I would love to see him in a... He would do well in L.A. As a Charger. Put him on Oakland. Any team but 49ers, he is a top-tier quarterback. Right now on the 49ers, he is a bottom 3-tier quarterback because he turns around and hands the ball off. That's all he does. Jameson.
Those are my closing thoughts for today.
So yeah, guys. So join us on Sunday, 9:30 p.m. East Coast time, right here on the Facebook page or YouTube Live. If you have missed any of the show, the replay will play obviously right after the show, or you can catch it on the rtfsportsnetwork.com at the noon hour East Coast time, right there on the live feed. Also on the RTS Sports Network, guys, the blogs are live. So if you enjoy reading as well, there are blogs from NBA to college softball to NFL. Every show out there is like writing a blog. So, if you enjoy reading and not listening all the time, check out the blogs. But as always, guys, got the hiccups. Excuse me. Catch us next time on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Comment, subscribe, hit the like button, share this with a couple friends. Have a good day. We out.
See you on the other side.